Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to this special space that we are creating here together today. Hello, Britt. Hello, Andrea. I'm very happy as always to be here with you. Hi, Tolkien. It's been a long time. Hi, Jennifer. I've already had a great morning getting to be with somebody in a very powerful life coaching session where this person feels they have a dream inside of them that they will regret leaving this planet if they don't try and make it happen. And they've been waffling, they've been stuck, and they chose to take action and got clear that they're done playing small and playing safe, even though they don't feel confident or ready or worthy or that they're good enough, that they are going to take the action anyway. So that was a great way to start my day, to be able to be with and support and guide them. You know, we all have our stuff that gets in the way. And I reached out to this person randomly and offered this session. And if I would have gotten in my own way, if I would have thought, well, I don't want to bother them, or I don't know them really, and who am I to reach out and offer this? Who do I think I am? What will they think of me? I'm not good enough. If I would have let all my shit get in the way of being of service to somebody, they wouldn't have had that experience today. That, who knows, it could, if they choose, let this change the trajectory of their life. And I'm not trying to say I'm so great. I'm saying that if I would have listened to that talk and let my own fears and insecurities get in the way, then that would have robbed the person the experience they had, to which now they are getting clear on their vision and they're taking action towards their dreams that they feel they've been put on the planet for. So somebody needs to hear this because it's coming out, and I didn't plan to say any of it. Britt, sounds like your life. So yeah, that's a very specific message. So somebody hearing this live, or maybe hearing the replay later, there's some place where you're holding your own self back to show up in the world because of your own fears and insecurities, and feeling like not ready, feeling like not confident. And so I'm calling bullshit on that. I even actually told the story of my Insight Timer live streams, in that I had an impulse, I had a desire that came almost 4 years ago when I opened the app randomly, that I didn't even really use this app anymore at that time. And there was people that were live on the app, and I just was like, ooh, I want to do that. That was all it was. that looks fun. That would be cool. That would be interesting. I could do a live guided meditation. So I told this person this story, and I had 0 followers. And if I would have just said, oh no, like talked myself out of it and never done anything, or maybe been like, looked into it and thought, well, I couldn't do that, or it's too hard, or it's too many steps. Or if I would have like done it one time and been like, well, nobody came, only 20 people, I think 20 people came to my first one, then I would have, sold all of us short. I've met so many of you in person, or like not in person, but outside of here. This app has changed my life. And, if I would have given up, I wouldn't be here right now. We wouldn't be here in the way that we have connected. I know we all have our journey, and I'm sure all of, many of you would have been on Insight Timer listening to things anyway, but you know what I mean. So yeah, so I told this person, like, it started out as just me doing guided meditation. And then I thought, ooh, I'm a Reiki practitioner. I could do that. I could give distance Reiki in the live stream. So I started doing that, and then things unfolded, and then I started going live every week, and then I started going live more than once a week, and more joined, and it's been now like 3 full years. Every single Sunday morning, Saturday night, I have gone live, unless I've been sick or traveling or some other plan. And now so much has unfolded from that original impulse. So, like I said, somebody needs to hear this. There's something that you want to take action on, you've been putting off, procrastinating on. And the message is to take the action even though you don't feel ready, even though you feel uncomfortable or not confident or not good enough or whatever. And also, you don't know where this is going to take you. That's the other thing. It looks like it's going to be one way. Like I said about the live streams, I thought, oh, I'll just be doing a guided meditation for 20 minutes going live. But because I stuck around, because I didn't just quit after 2 or 3 or 5 times, because I kept going, it evolved. So it totally turned into something I could have never fathomed. I couldn't have predicted the journey this has taken. So Amy needs to hear it. Hi, Mary. So we're going to be reading this book, Conversations with God. And what I said wanted to come through first. So reach out if that's you. And if you want to have a conversation, if you need a motivation or a little spiritual loving kick in the arse, as the Brits would say, send me a message. Because the other thing was with this person, they were like, yeah, I get motivated and then I quit and I don't do anything. And I'm like, well, that's why it's good to have a mentor, a guide, a coach, somebody that you're accountable to, that you're telling stuff. Because that's what we did at the end of the call today with this person was, I'm like, okay, well, what are you going to do? And when are you going to do it by? And they're going to check in with me. And they're going to tell me I did it. And if I don't hear from them, we made an agreement that I'm going to reach out and see what happened. So that adds that extra layer. And then this person even said, if I'm doing something for somebody else, I'll do it on time. I'll do it in excellence. I'll get it done so fast. But if it's something I'm doing for myself, then I lose motivation and then I don't do it. So, Jamie, thank you for the donation. Let me read your comment here. Ooh, yummy, yummy. Awesome. So you asked for $5 more for tutoring. This is amazing. Yeah. And when you live in Asia, everything costs less. So for me, Zoom is a lot cheaper. That's a little tweak. But I get that. Yeah. This is where it starts. Valuing ourselves. Hi, Kelly. Glad you're here. J.E. Maisha, thank you. So, if anybody is new, please say hello. It looks like we have some new faces. Hi, Lady Peacock. Hi, Mishi. I'm Natalie, spiritual life coach, Reiki master teacher. And you've just gotten a taste of, me and how I work with people in the coaching side of things. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Tony. Please follow me here. Give a donation if you would like. Follow me on also Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. This video will be uploaded as a video on my YouTube after. And I've got all of them over there. So, and don't forget to listen to my meditations. I have free and premium tracks here. One of my coaching clients just sent me a screenshot. They were listening to my bedtime bliss sleep talk down meditation. So that's always nice. Nice to know somebody is falling asleep to my voice or listening in a meditation. Hi, is it Javin or Javin? Welcome. Hello, Anne. Stopping smoking. Have you stopped already? I quit smoking in 2001. Who else has quit smoking cigarettes here? I also quit smoking marijuana in 1999. So we're going to be reading this book. Who does not know this book, Conversations with God? Or maybe vaguely knows it. Awesome, Jamie. Woohoo! Amy quit as well. So, I ask that because it shows Anne that others have done what you want to do. Ooh, you stopped for 6 years in the past, so you can do it. Michael Singer, my fave spiritual teacher that many of y'all know, and we actually listened to it last time in the last live stream on Michael Singer. He talked about that, like quitting drinking. He gave an AA drinking example, but you could use smoking, where he talked about like you can quit for 6 years, but then if you smoke one cigarette, you like lose the momentum, you lose the willpower, the power that you had, and then it's so hard to quit again, basically. Oh, congrats on 24 years. Are you a friend of Bill also? I got clean and sober in 1999. As I said, I quit marijuana in 1999. Britt, 88 days, magical 8s. And we have 44 meditators here. 4488. No refined sugar, no alcohol. I know how challenging, that is. And also, I know you, so I know a bit of your journey and know, yeah, this is huge. So I'm so proud of you, Britt. And glad you're proud of yourself. Maisha, you quit alcohol in March. Amazing. So this month for me is 4 years sugar-free. So yeah, this is my sugar-free anniversary month. So I'm going to write a post about it for my blog and my social. I am a writer. I'm a Gemini. We're the writers of the zodiac. J.E., I hear you. Yeah. Wow, lost 20 pounds. Oh my God. Amazing. Awesome. So nobody mentioned about this book if they knew it or not, so I'm going to assume we're all knowledgeable of it. A bit. You don't have to be an expert, but that you just know something about it. So it doesn't matter if you're here for the first or 100th time or missed a bunch or whatever. Just trust that whatever we read in here that you're meant to hear today. Oh, okay. So you know it enough to have it saved, but you haven't explored it, Maisha, is what I'm hearing. And yeah, if you said you're curious about the sugar, I've got a ton of resources I can share about my own journey in ways I also have helped others that could help you. So reach out, send me a private message if you want me to share those resources. So we're getting close to the end of this. We've only got this much left. We've already done this much. So we're starting a new chapter today. Chapter 12, page 169, if you are following in the book. And I also have an audio link for this. If you want to send me a message, I can send you the link. And so the way this works is I'm going to start reading and I'm going to stop when I feel like it. Please ask questions, make comments, be engaged here. This is very deep material, so please be fully focused. And use this as a mindfulness meditative practice to listen. And okay, y'all, remember many of you were here last week and I'm like, oh my God, I read the first sentence and was like, well, but we're going to wait till next week. And some people were like, no, don't stop. So hope y'all are here that said that. Because this is all about you making a living, career, and money. And so even the message that came through at the beginning of this live stream, I feel like is also kind of part of this for some of you. So definitely trust prayers are being heard, answered, messages. This is messages for you. So the author says, why can't I do what I really want to do with my life and still make a living? How many of you have asked that or wished that? Why can't I do what I really want to do with my life and still make a living? And that's so funny because that person I sat with on the call a few hours ago, that was basically where they were at. And I can raise my hand for me in the past, like thank God and karma and blessings and myself that I've created where I am doing what I really want to do with my life and I make a living. I'm so freaking grateful and blessed. So God says, what? You mean you actually want to have fun in your life and still earn your keep? Brother, are you dreaming? Only kidding. Just doing a little mind reading, that's all. You see, that's been your thought about it. The author says, it's been my experience. God says, yes, well, we've been all through this now a number of times. The people who make a living doing what they love are the people who insist on doing so. They don't give up. They never give in. They dare life not to let them do what they love. But there's another element that must be brought up because this is the missing element in most people's understanding when it comes to life work. So I want to pause and read that part again. The people who make a living doing what they love are the people who insist on doing so. They don't give up. They never give in. They dare life not to let them do what they love. So it's kind of like what I was saying earlier about like wanting to do something or wanting to do your passion or your creativity or follow your bliss, or the person that I was speaking with earlier, they were an artist. They wanted to do their art, but then they had the idea, I can't make a living. So then they had another career. So what was missing was an insistence and a commitment to do it no matter what. And I have that with what I do, with my, business of my coaching, my Reiki, my intuitive guidance, my readings, all of the things that I offer. I'll never not do this, no matter what. I insist on it. So if y'all have wondered, that's a big part of it. Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich says we must have a burning desire. Yeah, we must have a burning desire and a passion. Now for me, I didn't have a burning desire to be a life coach until I did. And for me, it was this whole story of gift and grace, and really it chose me. But even before that, I've had desires, I've had passions. Like in 2015, 16 was when I first got lit up to show up in the world. So, hi Joanne. So God says, but there's another element that must be brought up because this is the missing element in most people's understanding when it comes to life work. What's that? There's a difference between being and doing. And most people have placed their emphasis on the latter. Shouldn't they? There's no should or should not involved. There's only what you choose and how you can have it. If you choose peace and joy and love, you won't get much of it through what you're doing. If you choose happiness and contentment, you'll find little of that on the path of doingness. If you choose reunion with God, supreme knowing, deep understanding, endless compassion, total awareness, absolute fulfillment, you won't achieve much of that out of what you're doing. In other words, if you choose evolution, the evolution of your soul, You won't produce that by the worldly activities of your body. Doing is a function of the body. Being is a function of the soul. The body is always doing something. Every minute of the day, it's up to something. It never stops, it never rests. It's constantly doing something. It's either doing what it's doing at the behest of the soul or in spite of the soul. The quality of your life hangs in the balance. The soul is forever being. It is being what it is being, regardless of what the body is doing, not because of what it's doing. If you think your life is about doingness, you do not understand what you're about. Your soul doesn't care what you do for a living, and when your life is over, neither will you. Your soul cares only about what you're being while you're doing whatever you're doing. It's a state of beingness the soul is after, not a state of doingness. Hey, Angela, nice to see you. So does that, do y'all understand that? This doing versus being? Hi, Rose. Doing versus being. The body is always doing. The soul is always being. If we want peace, joy, love, freedom, happiness, that's not from the doing, that's from the being. But we do things because we want to be that. So, what is the soul seeking to be? God answers, me. What is the soul seeking to be? God says, God. Yes, me, God says. Your soul is me, and it knows it. What it is doing is trying to experience that. And what it is remembering is that the best way to have this experience is by not doing anything. There is nothing to do but be. So this right here, do y'all see, listen? This is like explaining the nature of existence in the universe and why we're here in the deepest mysteries of life. It's a state of beingness the soul is after, not a state of doingness. The soul is seeking, evolving, seeking to be God, because it already knows that it is God, whatever you believe that to be. The soul is trying to experience itself as itself. The soul is God. It's trying to remember, experience itself as God. What it is remembering is that the best way to have this experience is by not doing anything. There's nothing to do but be. Be whatever you want to be. Happy, sad, weak, strong, joyful, vengeful, insightful, blind, good, bad, male, female, you name it. I mean that literally. You name it. This is all very profound, but what does it have to do with my career? I'm trying to find a way to stay alive, to survive, to support myself and my family doing what I like to do. God says, try being what you like to be. What do you mean? Some people make lots of money doing what they do. Others can't make a go of it. and they're doing the same thing. What makes the difference? Some people have more skills than others. That's the first cut. But now we get to the second cut. Now we're down to two people with relatively equal skills. Both graduated from college, both were at the top of their class, both understand the nature of what they're doing, both know how to use their tools with great facility, yet one still does better than the other. One flourishes while the other struggles. What's that about? Location. Location? So the author is saying, somebody once told me there are only 3 things to consider when starting a new business. Location, location, location. In other words, not what are you going to do, but where are you going to be? That sounds like the answer to my question as well. The soul is concerned only with where you are going to be. Are you going to be in a place called fear or in a place called love? Where are you and where are you coming from as you encounter life? Now, in the example of 2 equally qualified workers, one is successful and the other is not because of anything either is doing, but because of what both are being. One person is being open, friendly, caring, helpful, considerate, cheerful, confident, even joyful in her work, while the other is being closed, distant, uncaring, inconsiderate, grumpy, even resentful of what she's doing. Now, suppose you were to select even loftier states of beingness. Suppose you were to select goodness, mercy, compassion, understanding, forgiveness, and love. What if you were to select godliness? What then would be your experience? Sorry. I tell you this. Beingness attracts beingness and produces experience. You are not on this planet to produce anything with your body. You are on this planet to produce something with your soul. Your body is simply and merely the tool of your soul. Your body is simply the tool of your soul. Your mind is the power that makes the body go. So what you have here is a power tool used in the creation of the soul's desire. So we're going to pause again because this is just, again, it's answering like the mysteries of so many things. Hi, Mark. Oh, nice. We've got tons of yoga teacher trainings here in Bali. And actually, I'm glad you said that, Mark, because as many of you know, I've just announced my Bali Bliss Retreat. It's going to be in August 2025 here in Bali, and yoga will be involved. It's not going to be a yoga teacher training, and there will be yoga every day, led by my fellow good friend and Insight Timer teacher, Alicia Bliss. So reach out if you want to come to Bali in 2025 and spend it with me and Alicia. It's going to be amazing. I know many of you have indicated your interest. And so we're getting more clarity as the days go on. We will have full details soon. We do have the date set August 17th for 7 days in 2025. So if that's interesting to you, send me a message. Now, back to the topic. Does anybody feel lost about what this message is at all, or is it clearly landing? For me, I have read this and heard this many times now. So, and which is why I'm teaching it. because I love it and I do have a bit of knowledge. So, but if it's the first time you're hearing it, yeah. Awesome, Angela. What it reminds me of is like the idea of like being a street sweeper. Will be the best damn street sweeper in the world. It's not about the doingness of sweeping the street. It's about who you're being. And what that reminds me of too is like, I walk every day for exercise and just because it's good for my body. And what I love most is the interactions with people. If I love, like, hiking is great, and also I would much prefer, for me in this application, that I'm walking and I'm seeing people and I'm saying hello. So like last year, I mean, I've lived in Thailand, you know, I'd walk there, I'd see people, I walk at sunset there. Last year here in Bali, walking on sunset at the beach, this really crowded area with all these beach bars. Now here where I'm living, I'm not at the beach, so I walk on the road because it's a sidewalk. But there's all these shops and stores, and now, you know, I know most of them, and I say hi every day, and even like people driving by, I will smile. So it's who I'm being on that walk. Sure, the body stuff is great, but I know that who I'm creating myself to be, the joy, the connection, the lightness, the smiles, the openness, the kindness, you know, that's probably the most powerful state of creation that I'm in every day. I'm listening to music, I'm singing, I'm enjoying. That's what the soul is interested in. So I could walk on, it's a busy road. There's like noise and pollution and traffic and, you know, I mean, sure, yes, I get annoyed. I'm human. But like I could definitely be like, I'm not walking here. Like there's too much traffic and it's dirty. And some days I do that. But I've trained myself and I've trained my mind. And I found a new rice field walk. And actually, like, I'm glad I have that. But I actually prefer to walk on the road where I can see and say hi to people. And some days I might feel quiet and want to go. I mean, it's beautiful. It's on a rice field. You can see the 10,000-foot volcano in the distance, like palm trees, rice fields. It's also very amazing. But that personal connection and who I be is what lights me up. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Tawana. So, everyone's with me here. So, the author says, what is the soul's desire? God says, indeed, what is it? I don't know, I'm asking you. God says, I don't know, I'm asking you. This could go on forever. God says, it has. Neale, the author, says, wait a minute. A moment ago you said the soul is seeking to be you. So it is, says God. Then that's the soul's desire, says Neale. God says, in the broadest sense, yes. But this me it is seeking to be, okay, In the broadest sense, yes. But this me it is seeking to be is very complex, very multidimensional, multi-sensual, multifaceted. There are a million aspects to me, meaning God. A billion, a trillion, you see? There is the profane and the profound, the lesser and the larger, the hollow and the holy, the ghastly and the godly, you see? Yes, yes, I see. The up and the down, the left and the right, the here and the there, the before and the after, the good and the bad. Precisely. I am the Alpha and the Omega. That was not just a pretty saying or a nifty concept. That was truth expressed. So in seeking to be me, the soul has a grand job ahead of it, an enormous menu of beingness from which to choose. And that is what it is doing in this moment now. Choosing states of being. Yes. And then producing the right and perfect conditions within which to create the experience of that. It is therefore true that nothing happens to you or through you that is not for your own highest good. Do y'all hear that? There's nothing happens to you or through you that is not for your own highest good. Good morning, Elena. You mean my soul is creating all of my experience, including not only the things I'm doing, but the things that are happening to me? Let us say that the soul leads you to the right and perfect opportunities for you to experience exactly what you had planned to experience. What you actually experience is up to you. It could be what you plan to experience, or it could be something else depending upon what you choose. Why would I choose something I don't wish to experience? I don't know. Why would you? Do you mean that sometimes the soul wishes one thing and the body or the mind wishes another? What do you think? But how can the body or the mind overrule the soul? Doesn't the soul always get what it wants? The spirit of you seeks, in the largest sense, that grand moment when you have conscious awareness of its wishes and join in joyful oneness with them. But the spirit will never ever force its desire on the present, conscious, physical part of you. The Father will not force his will upon the Son. It is quite a violation of his very nature to do so, and thus quite literally impossible. In these words, Father and Son, they're not religious, so leave that aside. Unless you like it, then keep it. The Son will not force his will upon the Holy Spirit. It is against his very nature to do so, and thus quite literally impossible. The Holy Spirit will not force his will upon your soul. It is literally outside the nature of the Spirit to do so, and thus impossible. So nobody can make anybody do anything, is what it's saying. God can't make anybody do anything. The body and the mind can't make the soul do anything. Here is where the impossibilities end. The mind very often does seek to exert its will on the body and does so. Similarly, the body seeks often to control the mind and frequently succeeds. Yet the body and the mind together do not have to do anything to control the soul, for the soul is completely without need, unlike the body and the mind, which are shackled with it, and so allows the body and the mind to have their way all the time. Indeed, the soul would have it no other way, for if the entity, which is you, is to create and thus know who it really is, it must be through an act of conscious volition, not an act of unconscious obedience. Obedience is not creation, and thus can never produce salvation. Obedience is a response, while creation is pure choice, undictated, unrequired. Pure choice produces salvation through the pure creation of highest idea in this moment now. The function of the soul is to indicate its desire, not impose it. The function of the mind is to choose from its alternatives. The function of the body is to act out that choice. When body, mind, and soul create together in harmony and in unity, God is made flesh. Then does the soul know itself in its own experience. Then do the heavens rejoice. So again, this is a lot to digest, so we'll pause. J.E., I hear you on that. And the book addresses your idea quite thoroughly in other passages, and it might address it more here soon. And I'm not here to convince anybody. We can all have our own beliefs. My ask is to be open-minded to new ideas, just as an experiment, curiosity. On the prior page, it said, yeah. Actually, I'm just gonna, let me see. It's basically saying that God is all, everything, all experience. It's very complex, multi-dimensional. There's a million, trillion, billion aspects to God. The profane, the profound, the lesser and the larger, the ghastly and the godly, the up, the down, the left, the right, the good, the bad. So in seeking, the soul seeking to be God, it has a grand job, an enormous menu of beingness to choose. Choosing those states of being. So, right now, in this moment, your soul has again created opportunity for you to be, do, and have what it takes to know who you really are. Your soul has brought you to the words you're hearing right now, as it has brought you to words of wisdom and truth before. What will you do now? What will you choose to be? Your soul waits and watches with interest as it has many times before. Do I understand you to say that it is out of the state of beingness I select that my worldly success, I'm still trying to talk about my career here, will be determined? I'm not concerned about your worldly success, only you are. It is true that when you achieve certain states of being over a long period of time, success in what you're doing in the world is very difficult to avoid. Yet you are not to worry about making a living. True masters are those who have chosen to make a life rather than a living. From certain states of being will spring a life so rich, so full, so magnificent, and so rewarding that worldly goods and worldly success will be of no concern to you. Life's irony is that as soon as worldly goods and worldly success are of no concern to you, the way is open for them to flow to you. Remember, you cannot have what you want, but you may experience whatever you have. I'm going to stop there for today. This is so dense and powerful. Remember, you cannot have what you want, but you may experience whatever you have. And that goes back to what the book talked about before, about basically the universe is a big copying machine, law of attraction, if you will. So if I want something, I am going to create the experience of wanting the thing. I want $1 million. Okay, I'm going to give you wanting $1 million. Not having it, but wanting it. You can experience anything you have. You may experience whatever you have. And the thing is, the reason why we want everything that we want is because we want to feel a certain way in the having of it. So this whole thing, the be, do, have, we do something to have something to be peace, joy, free, fun, light. This book says again and again to flip that, to be first. And then earlier it talked about the two people in the two similar paths, one's successful, one's not. Why? Their states of being. One was happy, one was open, one was light, one was present, one was grumpy, one was resentful. Which one will be more successful in their career? The one who is being those higher states. From the state of being creates the doing, then creates the having. So, what's your biggest takeaway from that message today? Yes, so Rose, earlier in the book, and this is a general law of attraction teaching that, we hear from many different people in many different ways. So this book says, and I'm paraphrasing, but it does say something like the universe is a big copy machine. And it does specifically talk about what I said about wanting. I can't remember where exactly. But if I want love, if I want $1 million, if I want a vacation to Bali, and you're in that energy of want, you will receive exactly that, the wanting of the thing, because that's an energy of want. Will create an energy of want. That's why we have to be and feel as if we already have the thing. Being in the energy of already having will bring us the having. So, say somebody wants a happy relationship, and they want and want, they will continue to create wanting a happy relationship, not having it. So showing up differently to the same dynamic as if you already have what you want is going to bring you to that. So, if you want to review this video, it will be on my YouTube soon. All my lives are. Follow me here on Insight Timer. If this was helpful, give a donation. If you feel an impulse, as we talked about a few weeks ago, honor that. Follow me here. Join my group, Natalie's Healing Circle. Hi, Laura. Delusional. What's wrong with delusional? Or is that a problem? Is delusional a problem? Thanks, Jennifer, for the donation. And also, if you feel called to reach out, I know I've talked about a lot of things today that might touch some stuff within you. Maybe you feel called to action. And if that's the case, I'm happy to offer you a gifted coaching session with me if you've not yet been with me in a one-on-one session. So, I will see y'all in like 20 hours, 22 hours for Saturday Night Live. We'll do cards. We'll do Reiki. We'll do Ancestral Clearing. Our wonderful Star Mother is here. This energy is supporting you. This unconditional love. So give yourself that softness and that blessing. See you all very soon. Much love. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me, or being a part of this co-creation in which I get to be what my soul wants me to be. My body, mind, and soul are in alignment, so the heavens are rejoicing, as the book said. And I do my best, really, with all my live streams, that I only show up in that energy. And of course in my one-on-ones. So, yeah. Thank you. And my state of being then also is resonant with yours and raises you, if you choose, and then we just rise higher and higher together as we awaken the collective by awakening ourselves. Thank you, Andrea. Great to see you as always. Hi, Patricia. You're welcome. So, join in tomorrow. It'll be another fun and powerful session. I will see you then.